Greetings, my name is Dr. Malik Raheem, and I'm an assistant professor here at California State University, Fresno, in the Counselor Education and Rehabilitation Department. I decided to make these videos on some of the work that I've been doing with microaggressions. Now, there are different types of microaggressions. The ones I usually focus on are racial, but you can have religious, racial, sexual orientation, gender, disabilities. So as you can tell, there are different types of microaggressions. But what microaggressions usually are commonplace behavioral or verbal indignities that communicate a hostile and derogatory style toward a particular individual. With that being said, there are usually three types: assaults, insults, and invalidations. During these videos today, you're going to learn about the different types of microaggressions. Sit back and enjoy the video.
So I'm currently in Fresno State. I completed my master's in school counseling with PPS credential, and I do want to share with you guys my personal experience of going through microaggressions. One day, my friend and I, we decided to go to the store. As anybody else, we were shopping, right? And we were nearly the end, and we were about to pay, and I was actually seeing that this line was open, right? So I approached the line, and the racer, she was a white female, right? And in front of me, there was a white couple going through it. So she got taken care of them with no problem. So when it come to my time to actually pay, she grabbed a little sign thing that said raise their clothes. And I probably thought to myself, oh, it's the end of her shift, it's okay, I just go to the next one. So my friend and I, we just went to the next racer, right? Just right besides the one she was serving. So all of a sudden I see another white couple, right, approaching her, the same racer that she actually put the sign, raise their clothes. So I was paying already, and I was facing her, and I can see through her eyes looking at me, right? And when she was looking at me, I saw her eyes, right? And she picked up the sign which says raise their clothes and let the other people go through, right? And it happened to be that the other couple was a white couple, right? So, and I thought to myself, man, am I really going through this right now? Like, am I really going through this right now? And a lot of thoughts came to my mind saying, did I really just experience racism right now, right here? My friend and I were really surprised, and both of us, you can see through our face that we're kind of surprised, but at the same time, we were laughing, but out of anger. Like, I cannot believe that it happened to me right there, right in my face. And she was looking at me when she picked up the sign which said, raise their clothes. I wanted to say something. I wanted to approach her and say, why do you do that? What is the reason behind for you just deny the services for me, right? But then I thought to myself, it is done, and I can go on with my life. But ever since, something really has changed, right? Has changed in me, because I know that being of a Hispanic descent, right? There's things out there that I know they will limit my ability to express my feelings, or the ability to go wherever I want to go. And the most dangerous thing is that most of these roadblocks other people put on the road to success from other people is that they're conscious, and they're sometimes blocked by the idea that, oh, it happens. It happens. It's a daily thing, right? So I think that going through that experience and seeing the reality of things and not living within a bubble, has impacted me in a way that now I'm really open to see and identify what is it that I'm going through as a Hispanic minority individual.
I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Our nickname is the Mormons. When asked about microaggressions, the first thing that came to mind being on the receiving end of a microaggression was when I was engaged in a conversation with someone about religious orientation and affiliation, and the individual with whom I was speaking, basically, I don't know that it was necessarily subliminal, but like they very overtly discriminated against me and said basically that my religious beliefs were invalid and that I wasn't a really believer of what I ascribed to believe. I was a missionary at the time, and I was out proselyting, helping. From my perspective, it was helping others to come unto Christ, because we're a Christian denomination and we believe in Jesus Christ. It's right there in our title, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I and my companion were knocking on the door of a gentleman. He came out and identified himself of a different Christian denomination and proceeded to tell me that I didn't believe in Jesus Christ. And that was probably the most difficult and unwarranted response that I'd ever heard from someone, to tell me straight to my face that I didn't believe what I believed. Without knowing or understanding where I was coming from. Maybe they had heard somebody's third-party experience or definition of what I believed, but they hadn't heard it from me. And so they were making that snap judgment or stereotype or really an assumption that was incorrect, completely incorrect. So my response, though, was not that of like, I'm just going to let him get away with it, kind of, because I went later and kind of studied up on, more reinforcing of my beliefs to reassure myself and reassure the person that I was with, my companion. And later we went back to that house and addressed the gentleman again, just to let him know kind of that we weren't going to be misunderstood in a way. We didn't want any contention, we didn't want to fight, we didn't want an argument. All we wanted to do was add some clarifying information, so we gave him a brief one-page document on who we believe Jesus Christ is. And so I didn't feel like I was completely out for the count, but it did take me back and kind of caused me to reassess what I really do believe, and solidified that for me as well.
Hi, my name is Samantha Lambert, and I'm an administrative support coordinator in the Kremen School in educational leadership. Well, growing up, I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood. However, I'm half white and half Filipino, so I always felt that I was different. And growing up, the other children would pick on me because I looked different, because I had more slanted eyes. People would call me names like chink and round-eyed fish eater, and it was very hurtful growing up, and I still think about it today as an adult. Well, my children, they're actually mixed as well. They're half Hispanic and Filipino and white. They experienced some bullying at school regarding their race, similar situations. The school they go to is predominantly white, so they're a minority in their school, and they get picked on the same way I did. With the recent election, there was concerns. My oldest daughter is friends with other Hispanic children who happen to be undocumented children, and she came home to me the day of the election worried about the results and what was going to happen to her friends, and it killed me to the core, because she was crying and expressing her concern about what is going to happen to her friends should Donald Trump get elected. Are they going to go away and their family's going to go away? So it was really hurtful for her. talking with her and her friends, a lot of them have a huge fear of what's going to happen to them and if they're going to have to leave their homes with their families and if their families are going to be torn apart. The fact that this is a reality that my children are having to experience in this day and age is awful.
Yes, I'm Dr. Malik Raheem, and I'm an assistant professor here at Fresno State, and I've been here since 2012. Well, last year, around about this time, it was the San Bernardino shooting, and I remember sitting in my office, and it was this young lady who works down the hall that usually come by up and down the hallway and always spoke to me. We always had friendly conversations. Well, like right after the San Bernardino shooting, you had a whole lot of, people saying that Muslims are against us, Muslims hate us, they're trying to kill our way of life. Well, she knocked on my door and she said, Dr. Malik, can I speak to you? And I'm like, yeah, sure, come on in. So she came in and she sat in the chair next to my desk and started crying. And being a counselor, of course, I'm trying to be as empathetic as possible. So I asked her, are you okay? I hand her the tissue, what's going on? So she says, Dr. Malik, and she looks me right dead in the face. This is a lady who's known me at this time for close to 4 years, and says, Dr. Malik, why do you want to kill me? And I'm like, huh? Why? It threw me for a loop. Like, what do you mean? Why do I want to kill you? She said, I heard on TV that all you Muslims want to kill us. And I want to know why you want to kill me. I never did anything to you. And so at first it angered me. And it angered me because you've known me for 4 years. We always spoke, we joked, we laughed. And I thought we had a decent collegial work relationship. And I don't think I ever gave you the impression in my mind that I ever want to do harm to you, but because of stuff you heard on the news, you're thinking that one of your closest colleagues would want to hurt you. So I kind of, try to subside my anger and just kind of reassured her that in Islam it doesn't teach us that anyone wants to hurt anybody. You don't kill the innocent, because if you kill the innocent, it's like you're killing all of mankind. So she wiped her tears and she said thank you, and she left the office. But ever since then, the relationship has not been the same. It's like I can't look at her the same way anymore, because now it's like, what do you think of me?